It's no use. Give up.
There's no debating the legacy Sonic Adventure 1 has, but if there's one time modern Sonic was able to take what he had in one game and make it even better in the next, Sonic Adventure 2 would be the ultimate example. Now in the Sonic fandom where people tend to have inconsistent opinions, there's been big wars on whether the two adventure games were actually good or just plain overrated. My input is that although these games have their flaws, these are some of the only Sonic games that I've been able to come back to consistently and have little to no frustrations with them. I can't say that about a lot of other modern Sonic games. They have personality, solid gameplay, good replayability, strong stories, and all-around likable characters. They were just 3D Sonic games that weren't perfect, but had an overall good quality and a sense of polish. It hurts to say this, but I personally don't think we've gotten a Sonic game with all those qualities in a single title sense, and that's not even mentioning the Chow. So all in all, I do believe that the two adventure games were the pinnacle of what modern Sonic should be, and I'd love it if Sonic Team got back to the point where we could get more adventure style games more often. Unfortunately, that just seems like a pipe dream considering Sonic Team's current state, but Iizuka himself did say that an Adventure 3 isn't out of the question, just that Sonic would have to evolve back to an adventure style of gameplay before we would see it again, whatever that means. So, Tails. In Sonic Adventure 2, we see Tails continue to become a little braver. We see him act in a way that shows he's breaking out of his shell, which proves he isn't as timid as he once was. From helping Sonic, who has pretty much been considered a terrorist at that point because of Shadow.
We interrupt this broadcast for an important news flash. There has been a break-in at the Federal Reserve Bank today. Mysteriously, the only thing that was stolen was the Chaos Emerald. According to eyewitnesses at the scene, the suspect was identified as the world-renowned hero, Sonic the Hedgehog. The suspect was seen fleeing the scene, destroying the reserve's guard robots in his path. Stay tuned for more details.
Like the work of Shadow.
From helping Sonic, who has pretty much been considered a terrorist, break out of a military prison and become a wanted fugitive himself in the process. He goes facing Eggman head-on without any of the fear or uncertainty he had in Sonic Adventure 1, and one of those times it was with Sonic being presumed dead, and both of those times it was with Amy's life being at stake. Although he got outwitted that second time and Eggman still snuck away at the Chaos Emerald that he was supposed to protect, his character still seemed to benefit from the experience enough. Maybe this newfound bravery in Sonic Adventure 2 was built up over the adventures Tails had in Sonic Adventure 1 and 2, or maybe it was because Tails was in his big strong cyclone the entire time. But after Sonic Adventure 2, the next couple of games put an emphasis more on teamwork, and the stories no longer put a big spotlight on individual side characters other than Shadow in his own self-titled game and Silver in Sonic 06. So the confidence Tails seemed to gain has just faded away over time. In Heroes, Shadow the Hedgehog and Sonic 06, Tails was just a sidekick, he was just there. He didn't add any spice to the story, he was just there to be a voice to figure shit out and say smart things, which made him pretty forgettable, to be honest.
It's not an Eggman robot. Sonic!
Shadow! We're in big trouble! The black creatures are after the president's escape pod. We've got to stop them and save the president.
Shadow, go. Destroy that craft and kill their leader. Then watch its effect on the humans. Now, we will begin to exterminate all of the world's leaders who resist.
What?
Annihilation for this planet is near. It is time to embrace the dawn of your demise and despair.
Sir, are you all right?
We're gonna build the wall. We have no choice. We're gonna win, win, win. You're gonna get so tired of winning.
In Sonic Riders, it's even more apparent he kind of lost the bits of confidence he had, because even though he put all the time and work into improving Sonic's Extreme Gear, which is very impressive considering he didn't have extensive knowledge on Extreme Gear, Wave gave this man the weakest roast in existence, and instead of Tails retaliating, it made him contemplate his entire life.
Still, how can a plank like that just float?
That's easy to explain. According to the Cutter-Joukowski lift theorem, the control surface flow is balanced by the inverse kinetics of the...
Stop! I get it, okay? It just floats, and that's good enough for me. Huh?
Sorry, but it's just too funny. Huh? That gear's unusual.
Customized it myself.
Well, I never imagined anyone would enter the race with such a piece of junk. Thanks, though. It was good for a laugh. See ya, Shorty.
In both of the Storybook series games, Tails has doppelgangers that resemble him being
Dolly Baba.
and a blacksmith, so any role that he plays isn't really Tails, just a character Tails is representing. Now, to present my opinion on Sonic Unleashed, I got my boy Ryan over here to give you guys a few words. Ryan, take it away.
Alright, so boom. Now in Sonic Unleashed, Sonic dumps his best friend and biggest fan for this little dick ass named Chip. Chip took Tails' place as the designated sidekick for the entirety of the game, and as a result, Tails got downgraded to the designated Uber driver that you see him just flying around in the tornado taking his nigga places.
Where is my destination?
Get out of my car now! You are at the hospital! Administration is right here!
I'm going
Get
to
in
the
there.
emergency room, sir.
Get in there!
Where?
Get out of my car now!
His lack of presence in the story makes him the perfect candidate to be the driver in the Sonic Unleashed nutshell video by Maxim, because in actuality, that's all he amounts to in Sonic Unleashed. All he does is give Sonic a ride in the tornado or whatever, when it's seemingly convenient. You may see Tails in a cutscene or two talking to the professor, but at the same time, you might forget that Tails isn't even in the game. Now, Unleashed did go back to some of the roots established in the duology of Sonic Adventure, including a renewed Sky Chase event gameplay. Although there were some adventure references, the writers did little to nothing with Tails as a character, here like to the degree in either of the adventure games. So his role in the story just sticks out as some unnecessary bullshit that bridges Sonic's constant travels across the world. Professor Dickel tells Sonic where to go and Tails just gets him there. So that's it, a designated Uber driver. But while we're on the subject, I will forever lament Unleashed for turning the Sky Chase scene into a QuickTime event. Fucking bitch.
How dare you reduce my finely hewn Keflian style into mere mother gooseries?